Hey friends, today we're working on an attachment for the Massey the Ferguson TO35 tractor. We're going to make a boom for the back out of some scrap tubing that we had. So the first thing that we're doing is cutting out these tubes, the ends of them, because this is, I don't know if you can see that. Hollow square tubing, and we're going to be installing these plates, and in those plates we're going to put some pins as soon as I find them right here. So these pins, sorry about my fingers, I haven't got my tripod thing. My grandson was running around with it. So these guys here get welded to here, and these get bolted into the ends, and there's going to be one on each end. And here's the other end. And then that'll make up the base. And then to the middle, the boom will be there. So I'll lay all this out. We'll find center. We'll center the boom on it. It's kind of in the wrong tangent. It should actually be in the I haven't figured out if I'm going to turn this 90 degrees or not to the rest of the tubing. So I'll play with that and see how it looks. But ideally it should be that the rectangle, that the load be loaded in the long side of the rectangle. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's the way I'm saying it. So the vertical of the boom will be 90 degrees to this. I think that'll give us the most strength. I'll look at that and see, because I think the bending moment, I'm going to make it in two angles. The bending moment is going to be up at the top, between the joint between the two. But I mean, this is stuff I've had lying around for years now, and I want to get rid of it. So it's three, what is this? Can't get a good read here. It's 3x4. I believe it's quarter wall. Yeah, 3x4 by quarter wall. So that'll do the job. I'll show you as I go along what that's going to look like. This will be the bottom side, and it'll have this hole is actually, if you can imagine this, I'll give you an idea what I'm doing here. I'm doing this one-handed again. So I bought these pins online. And then I found them cheaper at a tractor supply store in the area. I shouldn't say tractor supply because it's farm equipment store. It's called Connect, or not Connect, sorry. It's called Coleman's. They're out in New Dundee. So Coleman's, I found them for like half the money. It's only a couple bucks because these aren't that expensive, but still gives you an idea. You got to shop around. We're looking for parts for the Massey. For the Ferguson. And it actually calling it a Massey is not incorrect, because it is a Massey. Okay, so there's the idea. So this will get welded into here like that. So that gives us the opportunity to get inside there with a wrench. So that can be changed at any time. So that's what that's going to look like. Again, this is all stuff we had lying around, and buy anything but the pin so far, and then we'll see how that goes along. So that'll be what's going on. I cut the hole out here. I mean, I can hang on to this. It's pretty cool. Just cut it like 5 minutes ago with my Hypertherm Power Max plasma cutter. Now we've had, this is a Hypertherm Power Max 380. It's obsolete now. We've had this thing a long time, and it shares its house, or it lives with the Lincoln SP125 Plus, and they both live together next door to the Power MIG 255C, which we've had for going on 10 years now. All this stuff, I bought this Lincoln here, the SP, at an auction, and I bought that cash. This is back when we did fabricating in the race car team, so we had to have all this equipment. So now it's coming in handy for building this. The garage is slowly getting cleaned up. We're getting rid of more junk. The Massey's sitting outside. It's got, we just put a new fuel bowl seal in it. $7 friends, for that. That was expensive, I thought, but you know what, we didn't want it dripping fuel, So I don't know if you can see that, but there we go there. Put a new gasket on it. I got the hood hinges and everything, all that stuff fixed up. See, there you go, Agco parts. Look at that, bought an original part. There it is there for the fuel bowl. Because it was starting to get that you had to tighten it down too much, and I'm afraid of busting the bowl. And if this little cork gasket's $7, that bowl's probably $30 or something crazy like that. So I was worried about breaking it, so I, didn't want to get too carried away. So I'm going to pause it so we don't make this movie too long, this video, and I'll do the next cut, and then we'll come back. Thanks. Getting close. I'm doing a layout right here now for those two end cuts. And I'm just using a square and a scribe. And this rust makes nice layout die. So we're 2 inches back. This is the clearance holes for the category 1 hitch pins. They're 7/8 on the so that's that, and basically all I'm doing is lining it up to be inside the wall thickness. So I'm lining it up with the inside wall. Oops, as close as I can. And then that way I get the maximum amount of clearance for a wrench, because a wrench has got to go inside the hole to do up the nuts. So that's that. That's that part. And the next thing I'm going to do is take my punch and my hammer, otherwise known as the calibrated knockometer, and we're going to do this. That gives me a witness mark to follow along and cut. I'll show you the cutting in a second. You can skip this if you want. You can do it freehand. You can do whatever you like. You can say I'm wasting time, blah blah blah, but this is the way I do it. Because it works for me. I've been in the trades for 30 years now. Let me get that ground Jake back up. Jake's doing the camera for me, so we can all see this. And I'm going to cut that with plasma cutter. That's what you can hear running in the background. So. I'm going to tell you something about the plasma. I'm doing this in a pair of shorts, and I'm just doing this freehand, no gloves. And I know somebody's going to say, well, that ain't wise. But again, that's the way I do it. If you want to do it wiser, I highly recommend that you do. There that is. That's her. That's freehand. Keep the dross off of it. Maybe I won't. There we go. It's just sticking a little bit. So now you can touch this up with a die grinder. You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to bother because it's underneath. No one's going to look underneath, and it'll still do the job. So this gets butted up to there. That'll get welded. That leaves you lots of room to tighten those nuts up and change the pins if you ever mess them up. So there, that's the bottom. Both ends are done now. And then we'll keep moving along. So there's how we did the cut. And as we go, we'll do more. Okay, hey, while we're at it, don't forget, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. We'll be right back. Doing a little bit of weld prep, cleaning the rust off, chamfer the ends. That'll get it ready to put the end plates on. I got the weld prep all done. We got the first plate ready to go. We're just going to tack it and then weld it in. The center line of the tube laid out, and you can see this is material that's been laying around outside. Just a little bit of pitting here and there, a little bit rusty.
Slip in and tack it.
Get groundage. Got ground. Probably ground right directly on the tube, Jake, so you don't lose voltage through the vise.
Yep. Okay, we'll tack.
Got gas on?
Should.
Yeah, I hear gas. Well, you gotta bleed. Purge it. Run it a bit. Just steady.
Okay.
Get rid of some of the, because we changed the bottles, so it'll have air in the line.
We'll grind that off in a second.
Yeah. You want to rotate it, or what do you want to do? If you rotate it, is it alright?
No, we gotta cut it.
What happened?
It twisted. Shit.
Where are we twisting?
It lifted. I'm gonna hold it with my hand and tack it. It lifted on the one side. The whole back side, it's crooked.
Oh yeah.
Gotta cut it.
So cut it right here, and we'll just top it on this corner. This tack will still be okay. And then that'll straighten it back out again.
Okay. Well, let me sand this porosity off first.
And then we'll knock this corner out right here, and then we'll straighten it. No big deal.
No big deal.
Just pause it. So we got it tacked on square this time. And then we're going to start doing the
It's gonna go across. We're gonna go slow.
the full welds. Okay. Go ahead and
Hit it up.
hit that with the MIG. No, hit the other end first.
Tack it.
Yeah. Alright, she's good to go. Need more wire speed. Try that. Something burning up.
Huh?
Burning tip. Looks like a weld.
We're running at the outermost limit of this wire with diameter of wire we're using. That's why it sounds a little bit funny. We're running it almost on spray transfer. We're concerned about the heat.
Pull that nozzle.
Pull the nozzle. Gonna do the nozzle.
No, move the nozzle ahead.
Yeah.
Because you're too high amperage.
How's that?
That one's a slip.
Is it?
Yeah, screw the insulator back down. You're unscrewing the end. Is it tight? That's fine. Just move the nozzle. Now look down inside.
That's better.
Yeah, that should protect the nozzle. Or the electrode. Or I'll go right opposite. Now this plate's a little bit short because I cut them. When I cut it in half, I did it in chop saw. It didn't come out exactly half, so one's slightly longer than the other, but I don't think it'll make a difference. Go ahead and weld that. You can hear the difference just pulling back, pulling the nozzle forward to retract the electrode has made. It's just a fine little adjustment like that, right? Because on really light gauges, you want the electrode nozzle, and you can actually have it stick out a little bit. But on stuff like this, you want to retract it back, and I guess that prevents spatter from jumping onto the nozzle as well as keep it a little bit cool. Well, this is where the shortness shows up. This is in the industry we call bad fit up. But when you have bad fit up, you work with it and you make do. So this might be 2 passes. We'll see how it goes. Jake will determine as he goes how to weld this, or what's the best way to rectify it.
Most likely going to be a tight 3 pass on the top. It's going to burn in the root and then burn.
So he's already determined as he's going how he's going to finish this weld off. And you know what? Doing stuff like this isn't textbook classroom welding. This is stuff that you're actually going to see in the field. Stuff that you have to learn to overcome and have to learn to adapt. So this is kind of like field welding 101. So obviously it's not going to be a single pass. Is that alright?
It's alright, and then we're just going to go a little, I'm going to weave a little bit because...
Oh yeah. So you can see, hold on, let it cool down a little bit, Jake. Let's show the friends at home.
We're going to just try and weave a little wider on that top pass.
So he's going to bring in the side and that last pass.
We're just going to roll it up on the double.
He's going to roll it.
Just try and fill it in.
And he'll fill it in. Do we have a wire brush handy? Heaven forbid. Yeah, we do. Look at that. I'll leave these guys focused on that for a second while I dig out the wire brush. Here we go. And then we'll give that a little brushy. Brushy, brushy, brushy.
Just to get the silica off and make sure we get some of a clean weld. And
this is how you wire brush. And I don't know if you can see that.
we're going to just fill in the top.
Okay, so now you see it now, and then we knocked off all the little silica. And the silica is actually S6 wires, got extra silica in it, and what that does is it grabs the impurities. So that leaves it as a glass, and it actually is glass at the end of the weld. You got to knock it off. Probably better to knock it off between passes, but you'll see what that does is it grabs an S3 has got less silica, S6 has more, and the S6 helps clean up garbage. But remember, if you're going to paint something, that you need to clean that off. I don't know why I'm videoing this, because I really can't show you guys. I got to try something with a fixed focus so we can video through the lens. There's the finished product. Unless you want to run one more pass, that's up to you. I don't think you need to.
I don't think we need to. We don't have a lot of a dip in here. We've weaved over enough. We don't have a stress riser going through there, so I think we're okay.
And that's her. Sorry, I'm off focus again because I'm looking through my eyes instead of the camera. And that's the end. So we'll make everything touch safe as we go along and get it all finished. So we're going to flip over to the other side. I'm not going to videotape the other side because that's just a repeat of this side. So that gives you an idea. So that's the very base of a Category 1 lifting device that we're making for the back of a tractor. Now this will be adaptable with adapter sleeves to Cat 2. This is heavy enough that it should, I don't know, there might be some engineers out there when we get done, we can throw some dimensions up and then we can look at it that way. But I think this is going to be quite heavy enough or quite substantial to do the work that we want it to do. And like I said, this is just crap. I don't know what else I would ever use 4x3 by quarter wall tubing on other than making something like this, because I can't see the need, you know, to have this stuff lying around. Anyway, we'll flip it over, get the end done, and then we'll come back and we'll start the vertical section. Hey friends, we're back. What we decided to do is we're going to cope out the rectangle tubing, and then we're going to set it down this way on top of that horizontal piece that we made, the base, and then that kind of gives it the rigidity that we need. Well, the most rigidity available within the rectangle tubing, and this gives us some more area to weld upon to make a better attachment. So I'm gonna cut with the plasma, and Jake's gonna film this or video it. Jake? And then we're going to turn it over. We have to do this on both sides.
Yep.
So, where's the plasma?
It's right here.
Oh, okay. There's the torch. Okay. And away we go. So that's one side done. We'll flip it over, do the other side. I'm not going to show you it twice. There's no sense in being redundant. That gives you an idea of what we're going to do, and then we'll show when we do the attachment what that's going to look like. We got one other piece to prep. We got another end to finish on this. This is going to be the first vertical of the boom, and then we'll do a horizontal piece. So when we get this other side coped out and we get it fit, we'll come back and show everybody. So we're going to hold on to the video right there, and hey, remember, hit the like button. So I just wanted to show what we were doing here for the layout. I don't know where this came from, but I found this Sharpie Magnum. And this is quite the magic marker, friends. I mean, look at the size of the tip on that. It's as big as my thumbnail. And it does great for doing layout. So Jake's going to lay out the 2-inch center. And then we're going to go 1.5 inches on either side of that to do the coat. But I popped the video back on to show you this crazy magic marker. So there's the first cut done. And then that'll go on the horizontal. And this will be the vertical element.
This is no good.
I know it's short because of the giant radius in this tubing. Okay,
do?
we'll work on this. We're going to run into a layout difficulty. We'll fix it and we'll show you when the product is done. So we got the vertical, the angle cut. That's the angle that we calculated out to give us 4 feet of reach off the dead vertical of this element here. So if this element was plumb, we would get 4 feet of reach into the off the back center line. So I think what that gives us is the ability to use the upper link, top link of the, this has obviously got to be ground and dressed. I'm having problems with my plasma cutter because I can't find my consumables and it's cutting on a crazy angle, so that means the nozzle's done. So I got to go online and find some consumables for that Hypotherm Power Max. So anyway, yeah, so if we had the horizontal and the vertical, and then I think what we've already discussed is we were going to put rear outlets on this. So when we set this up, this bar here, we can adjust this to give us more tilt or lean it back. We'll probably have to do some testing to see what the capacity of this will be. I'm assuming that the frame is going to be stronger than the lift, because now that's going to add 4 feet. 4 feet off the back of this, off of this point right here. So that's going to be a little bit, that'll cut down dramatically on the lifting capability. But I think if we can get around 400 pounds or so, I'd be really happy with that. We'll see what we can do, because I want to be able to use it to lift stuff off the trailer. Lift stuff off our utility trailer, so that's why I went with 4 feet. But that gives you an idea. That just gives you an idea what we want to do. Sorry, the white balance is acting up. So the next thing I'm going to do is dress that up. We'll show you the layout of the angle, and then Jake will do the welding on the I'm doing some cleanup. We'll do the angle and then we'll weld it up, and we'll show you how that looks. And I think the gusseting will go in last, and then the eye, whatever we dress the end of the boom with, that'll go on last. This hot out today, man, I'm just sweating buckets. But we're going to persevere, try to get most of this done. We've been talking about doing this for a month now. Like I said, I had that material lying around. It wasn't doing anything. I think there's good value in the boom. If we never do use it, I can sell it, or somebody can rent it, whatever, right? So I think it's going to prove to be a nice handy piece of equipment. So we'll see when we're done. Maybe we'll test it on something and give it a shot. So we've got a couple more things figured out what we're going to do. And then we'll show you how that's going along. I'm a little distracted, lots of traffic out on the street. It just bothers me, I'm not going to lie. People drive a little bit too fast. That intersection out there, it would be just, you just wouldn't believe how much traffic is on that intersection. So it just, they drive fast, they drive crazy, they roll the stop signs. Yeah, it's quite frustrating. Quite frustrating. So there you see, and that's a good stop, and she didn't even stop. So anyway, there you go. I digress. I'll talk to you soon. We'll get back to you when I'm done with that angle. Well, there it is, guys. We've got that coped in, and we'll be able to fill this area here. And we'll bring it around here. And you can see how the fit up is. So that gives us the majority, the load, the bending load is going this way through the long section instead of through the short section, which will give you a bit of flexing. So Jake's going to weld that up right now, and then we'll put the top on. We've got the top prepped. There's our angle there, and that's going to be where we end up with the horizontal section of the boom. And then we'll add some gussets after. What are you looking for?
Just want to make sure that it's not, it's just didn't check.
Is it twisted?
It's good to me.
No, it looks fine.
Alright, we're just going to tack it up on the corners and probably going to do 3 pass. We're working with a smaller diameter wires, so tack on the opposite corner. Do a root pass down the one side, and then we'll fill in the other and go from there. Tiny and cold, so we're gonna have to do multiple passes. It's just pulling too much heat out of it.
So we got 3 pass in there now. That's what that looks like. If you turn it horizontally, I don't want to video too much. I don't know if that's going to kill my phone, videoing all that welding. So we're just going to turn this, and then we'll show you what that looks like. But you're getting the idea now of the picture. Okay, so there we are, and stand by.
Good. Good.
That's the first side, friends. Coped in, welded. Multi-pass, good to go. We're gonna flip it over, we'll finish it off, and then we'll put the top section on, but I might have supper first. Haven't decided yet, but we'll let you know. We invite you over for supper, but we only made enough Italian sausage for me and Jake. So, sorry, next time. So we're back after supper. Had a bite to eat. Let this thing cool off. There's the finished product of the welding, so that's 3 passes on there, all the way around. This is welded all the way around. This is the horizontal on the bottom, just the vertical mast, and then on this angle here we'll be attaching the horizontal portion right here, and then I'll do some gusset work. We'll do some figure out what we're gonna do after a while. So the next piece to do is that's been welded all sides. So the next thing we got to do is to attach. What are we doing? So we're going to attach the boom, and then pointing out this way we got to make the brackets for the upper link. So I have a couple of upper links to dummy up. We had a little accident here, knocked some stuff over, so Jake's working on that, cleaning it up. I've got this one here. for a dummy link. This is actually an actual Massey Ferguson link. It is the original. And I'm going to say this was made in 1956. It's bent up a little bit, but I'm going to put it in the press and I'll show you that. Sorry, I'm looking, not looking through the viewfinder. There you can see where it's bent. So I'll show you how to fix that in the press. We'll do a press video. And I've got another one over here that's underneath the toolbox there that I'm going to use, and then we'll mock that up. So the top link hole, we're going to go 13/16 because I don't want to go 3/4 because it'll be a little bit snug, and then it's just a pain when you're trying to put the pins in. So I'm going to try 13/16. We'll see how that goes. We'll drill it out. We're going to use some flat bar for that. You can see the pieces of flat bar there in the ground. That's good and heavy, so that'll be our flats. So I'll make those up right away, and we'll see where that takes us. So like I said, this is all it's all, you know, bit as we go. So that'll get welded onto the boom. So let me pause the video here, and then we'll get that done. I'll make up the pieces. I'm not going to show you guys all that stuff because you just know how to drill a hole in a piece of metal. I think you can do that. So if you're following along or trying to get ideas, you'll know how to drill a hole in a piece of metal. So I'm not going to show you that because it's a pain in the butt to video that stuff. I mean, there's the drill press, right? So we'll put the metal in there and we'll drill a hole in it. So let me get that done and I'll get back to you. And we're back, friends. Through the magic of television, we're able to fast forward and get these tabs made up. So these will go attached onto here at this point, which according to our diagram for making a category 1 connection, 26 inches is the width. I'm not sure what we have. We might be slightly under, no big deal. And 18 inches for the height. So we'll go 18 inches and we'll set all that up and we'll weld these on. Again, I just did raw dog these with a zip cut wheel, cut the champers on the sides. We cut them off from bar stock. So rusty stuff was laying buried in the ground actually in the backyard, but it was
Good enough for what we're doing.
Yeah, it'll work. So we'll weld these on, get them attached, and we'll show you what it looks like again. Jake's got the pins bolted in. So there we are there with the Cat 1 pins hooked up. They're all tight, Jake?
I think I'll be tight still, but they're in.
Okay, so we're going to tighten those with a wrench. They're only hand tight.
They're in.
And we can set that up. And if you remember, we cut the bottom out. Sorry if the camera's upside down, we can bolt them in through there. So there you go. There's where we are so far. And then the last piece after we put these tabs on for the upper link will be to attach the upper boom. So we'll restart the video after these are done. We'll show you these getting welded on. Again, I don't like welding into my phone. I don't know if it'll hurt it or not. Maybe somebody can make a comment, but I'm not going to bother. And there's not much for you to see but a bright light in the center of the frame. So we'll just forego that and we'll get back to you in a minute.
Wire brush. So that's silk off.
That's the first tab being welded on. I don't know where it went. This thing's really heavy. It's gonna take two guys to put it on a tractor, that's for sure. Quarter tube, holy smokes. Like I said, I don't know, I wouldn't have used this if it wasn't free stuff lying around. But she's gonna be heavy duty. Paul Bunyan wouldn't be able to bend it. So, and half you guys don't know who that is, but that's okay. So I just thought I'd pop in there now and give you a little look as we're going along. I believe that's 2 passes there. He's going to do 3 passes on all this. Keep it righteous. Yeah, I'd like to show in this video to Chucky 2009, but I don't think he's any longer with us on YouTube. I was a big fan for a while. It was, you know, shenanigans, but some of us know how things went with him and some don't. So it's too bad. I thought he was a pretty cool kid. Anyway, we'll keep on moving on and we'll get to the other side and then the boom. We'll let you see how that looks. There you go, White guys. That's the lugs welded on. Both are done. And then we're holding this up in a vise. This is sketchy as balls, but you know, what are we gonna do? It's heavy. But what we're gonna do here is we are going to set in the boom inside these two pieces, and then we'll tack it, and that will help how we weld it, because it's, no, we don't have a layout bench or nothing, so we're just making do. So this is we do out in free air, it's called, and that's how we're going to do it. So we'll set it all up, and then we'll tack it and show you what that looks like. So that's the top link tabs welded on. I know they're a little bit wide, but if it's a pain in the butt, we'll do spacers or something. But I don't think it should make any difference at all. It should be fine. It should do the job that it needs to do. It's just to hold the boom vertical or you know, change the angle. It'd be really nice with a hydraulic top link.
That's what we're gonna need. We're gonna put on, because
you'll be able to swing the boom forward and back.
Swing it backwards, and as you raise it,
Tilt
anyways,
it.
with the 3-link, it's going to pull it back and change the angle. So it would be nice for hydraulic to compensate for that, to keep your load level if you had to, just to make it a little bit more useful. Because I guess with a manual top link, it's just a very crude lifting device. It's just for, basically, it's for when we move to try and get things on and off the trailer.
Yeah, because we won't have everything set up, so this will be the rig that we use. Because some of the implements are heavy. We got that 3-point plow. It's sitting on the trailer now.
Very, very heavy.
And then we got a cultivator we got to move. So this will come in handy. So that's where we are so far. Now we got the last piece, and then we'll clean up for the night, because we'll show you what that looks like, because it's getting late and we want to get all the welding done, so we're going to keep dragging everything in and out. So we'll be back. Hey friends, we got this set up right now. And we're going to do the welding now for this area. We're just going to tack it, and then we'll get in there and wire brush it, get some of that rust off. And then, so what we got is this is in free air out of the vise. Okay? So it's clamping a clamp on side of some plates to keep it flat and true. And then we got a stilt to hold it up in the air. And I think somebody's going to have muscles in their crap by the time they get this thing out of the vise, because it's going to be 225 pounds maybe-ish, but we'll see how it goes. We're willing to try anything once. And then maybe we'll put a gusset in there when we're done. We'll see. We'll get to that point, and then we'll have a look at it. But so far she's going to be pretty robust. Built to last. So that's where we are right now. We'll tack that up, and then we'll get that going, and then I think I'll put a big lug on the top for the attachment. I think that's what we'll end up doing up here at the top, is we'll end up putting the lug on it. So, and then I'll drill a weep hole at the bottom. Well, it's actually right through. We won't cap the ends. That way moisture can fall right through it. And then this way, it gives us versatility of what we want to do. So there we are, mocked up for the weld. Jake's getting prepared to weld that.
We do a little bit of sanding and prepping, but
yeah, so we got to tack it so it'll stay up in the air and get rid of those plates. So
probably just do a nice solid, maybe a little vertical down or something in the back here, just to hold it, and then try and weld everything in position. I weld everything like this heavy in the flat, and I'm gonna do multi-passes on most of it. So
yeah, we're gonna have good side on the sides because of this big radius on this tubing.
Have deep penetration.
You'll have
1 or 2 passes to fill it and cap it off with maybe 2. So we'll see.
It'll be almost open root.
Yeah, which is good. That's what we want.
That'll give us the best. So we'll get this.
We'll get this tacked up and see what.
And then we'll pull the clamps off and show you what that looks like. So we pulled off the plates, and we got the first couple of passes done. this will do this side of the boom, and then we're going to roll this over and we'll do the next side. So you can see how nice that's welded in there. Tiny bit of spatter. I mean, this is dirty metal. She's got a little bit of pitting and stuff, but I don't believe that has anything to, it'll never affect the integrity of the weld. So we're going to try and get this position. It's getting heavy now, as you can well imagine.
It's going to weigh close to 200 pounds.
Oh yeah, there's two 5-foot pieces, an 1.25 inch 3x4 tubing. Or sorry, 1/4 inch wall, 3 inch by 4 inch tubing. Plus the other one, so there's actually 5, 10, 12 feet. 12 and a bit feet, so she's got some weight. She got some chooch. And so we figured it out. It should give us 4 feet.
Which is center behind block trailers.
Yeah, which will put us down the center of a utility trailer or our big trailer, very close to the center. So we're going to roll this and then we'll pick up the video right after that. So we had to show you this. We got her on the floor. That might give you a better idea. It'd be fun for you guys to watch us bust our nuts on this, but we don't have a tripod yet. I bought one and I can't find it. My daughter put it away somewhere, so I'll find it. And then we can run the video. But there, that gives you an idea. So that was the bottom tacks. That's the back. He's going to back right that out so that we can get a better weld in there. And then that'll be the same way. We'll back grind that out. We'll get it flipped over. I got to flip the stilt, and we'll do it again. So that gives you a good view of the bottom. This should be an epic build when we're done. No doubt about it. Anyway, see you in a bit. We need
Brush. And stuff.
This will be the last pass on the side. The back's done. And then I think what we'll do before we put the lifting lugs on, we're going to take it outside and check it. Well, it's time for the climax. We threw it on there just to see what it would look like. So there it is. Obviously the upper length's way too long for this deal. We're going to have to draw it back probably a couple of inches to get it more vertical. I'm not dissatisfied with this at all. There it is. We don't have any, oh, that's still smoking hot. So we don't have any stabilizer bars or change yet. So we'll get those added on. I got one that's tied up here, so I got to get a pair, obviously. We'll get those on. But there it is. There's the finished welds. And the throat, we'll put a gusset in here, I think, just to be safe. But I mean, that's all fully welded all the way around. There's the top link. So we'll work on it tomorrow a little bit more. Right now it's time for some liquid refreshment before we clean up.
It's been a hot day.
She's a hot day. Goes in it. 2 guys can handle this. It's not too bad. That's for my friend Steve, the small engine shop. Is it Steve's Small Engine Corral?
Yeah.
My buddy Steve out on the coast. There you go. Out on the west coast. There's some Bud Light for you. So that's the build. I'll give you a backup shot. You're gonna laugh, friends, but this is where we're building this stuff. This isn't a subdivision. And there it gives you
No layout table.
no layout table, all raw dog, free in the air, cutting with a zip cut. We didn't even drag the chop saw out. That thing's horrendous. I mean, it's okay for doing what you got to do, but you know, you get blade wander in the damn thing. We had to sell the bandsaw. I'm still brokenhearted. And that chop saw makes the most evil little needle-like debris all over the garage. That's it. That's our garage. That's where we do this stuff. So that's it. That'll be, I'll round up the video now, and that's the build. So basically all that's going to be left is a hanging lug and some paint, and we'll call her done. So we learned a little bit on this build. If I did it again, I would probably go with, I'd go with 3/16 wall tubing, maybe 2x3 instead of 3x4. But this thing is built rugged, so you know, I wouldn't have any qualms about sticking it on the back of a bigger tractor. But like I said, we'll put a gusset in it. I'll take a little quick cleanup video on it, and then you know, we can go from there. But that is the build. For the most part, I'll give you a quick fly around. This is the what do you call the drone video? This is the drone footage. Okay, so we're doing a drone right now. Just insert drone noise here, whatever noise those things make. So this is, we're panning around. Say this is the drone flying around now. Panning around, and we'll pan back down again. Oh, look at that. And then we'll pan down. And I got the drone footage. Alright, and then we'll pan up. There's the work we did on the Ferguson T035. And we still got lots of work. Look at that light I built. Isn't that thing a beauty? So we're doing the drone footage. And there we go. That's it. So we'll finish the end of it. Get some more stuff done. So that's her. So thanks for watching. I'm glad you guys spent the day with us. It's been a long, hot day. One of the hotter days of the year. And I know I'm very hot. So there we go. Tomorrow we'll maybe add the lug to it. We'll see how it goes. We just got to clean up the shop.
Got some rabbit chores to do tomorrow and some shop cleanup. So pressure wash some rabbit cages in the morning.
Yeah, we're going to be busy all weekend. Well, we blew the shop up, man. It was getting clean. Now it's exploded. Okay. Don't forget, friends, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Ring the bell. And that's it for the first real farm implement that JWO Fab has done. And this is the Suburban Farmer and our team. It was Driveway Motorsports back in the day. Now we're going to call it Driveway Fabs. Driveway Ag Fabs.
For about 8 more months, and then hopefully build a shop.
Yeah, so we'll see how things go. Anyway, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Check back off and see you soon. God bless. Stay safe during COVID-19 nonsense, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.